Vesemir'd say stay out of it, but Vesemir's not here.
Alright, here's one encounter in Novigrad that is quite easy to miss. Back when I made my own Witcher 3 details video about this area, more than a year ago at this point, a couple of people mentioned this, but initially I was unable to find it. Well, it turns out that the whole quest is available only during a certain section of the game. And what's more, there is even a small nod to it later on in another quest, but we'll get to that. Before I begin though, I want to quickly say thanks to everyone who wrote all kinds of positive comments about the birth of my second daughter just a few days ago. So with that said, we start here in the outskirts of the city, typically a non-human area, but this time it's a mage who hides from the witch hunters. First off, as you walk by, a brief event plays out where they break into his house. That can be missed quite easily if you're just nearby and not looking in the right direction.
Open up, in the name of the fire! There's a mage inside, we know it. One Remi Villeroy, sentenced to death in absentia.
We've been courteous enough.
Batter down the door, we're going in! Remi Villeroy, you are under arrest for sorcery and conspiracy. Take him.
Daddy!
Vesemir'd say stay out of it, but Vesemir's not here. I swear, you're worse than door-to-door peddlers.
Leave, Witcher, or I'll find some iron jewelry for you too.
Help me! They'll burn me! They'll burn me alive! I've done nothing!
Nothing? Nothing? Who concocted those poisonous potions? Who helped the Lodge of Sorceresses, sending them reports via megascope? Who addled men's minds with magic, eh? I know you, Remi. I know you and your crimes.
That was long past. It shan't happen again.
Oh, we'll make sure it don't. Shackle him! He's cunt too!
Mummy!
From here on, there are 3 ways this quest can play out. First, you can straight up refuse to meddle, which is allegedly what Vesemir would have done.
Collective responsibility, is that it? Not terribly fond of that strain of justice. But don't worry, won't get involved.
Good of you. You see, witches are like dogs. Useful so long as they do what they're trained for. But when they start biting their wrong hands, no one hesitates to break their necks.
Lovely speech. Almost set my tail wagging. So long.
See? Even the freaks scorn you, Remi. Take him!
The second variation is immediately taking Remi's side.
Mummy!
Can't allow this.
No one's asking your mind, mutant.
Still think you'll listen to me. Or to my sword.
To me! At him!
Thank you. If you hadn't intervened, they would have killed me. And Louisa and the boy, I tremble at the thought.
Triss Marigold. Find her. Might be able to help you.
I hope so. Take this. I must abandon magic for good. You might still find use for it. Perhaps the next time you encounter mage hunters.
Yeah, something tells me it won't be long. Farewell.
And the third, and my personal favorite, is the one where you lean towards neutrality and then take the mage's side.
You see, witches are like dogs. Useful so long as they do what they're trained for. But when they start biting their wrong hands, no one hesitates to break their necks.
Oh, think I actually will bite. And it'll be the right hands.
To me! At him!
What? Lost your nerve?
So if you decide not to get involved, it immediately cuts out to a few hours later or something, where everyone's gone and the house is empty. But if you help him, he rewards you with 3 runestones. And by the way, fun fact about them. Other than the ones that were introduced in Hearts of Stone, which are named after food, all other runestones are named after Slavic deities. Right, as I said in the beginning, you can only do this during a certain section of the game. It seems it becomes available after you complete the first quest with Triss, you know, the rat catching.
How's Jan?
Not bad.
And then becomes unavailable after you escort the mages out of Novigrad. And what's even more curious is that if you rescue Remi, you will see him among the escaping mages in the sewers, right after Triss gives her speech. And in case you haven't watched my Novigrad details video, the same thing happens with Moritz. You know, the guy who calls Triss a lame duck during the masquerade?
Forgive me, Marigold, but that is like allowing myself to be led by a lame duck. Farewell.
Didn't like that guy.
You can save him as well from being burned at the stake.
I know you. Ritz Tiefenthal, right? Triss's friend. Didn't see the slightest reason to flee Novigrad.
The same. Just singed. I thank you, Witcher, and I appreciate I was wrong.
Here's my advice, and it's good advice. Find Triss. Lame Duck might still be willing to help you.
And in that case, he too will show up in the sewers amongst the other mages. Quite the curious details, I think. Gotta give the developers credit for them. And one final thing I noticed before I let you go, I'm sure you've heard the boy shouting after his mother. Mommy! But did you hear that in the beginning, he shouts when they're coming for Remi, calling him Daddy?
Take him.
Daddy!
Now that's interesting. Could this sorcerer be the child's father? The woman implies that they've been together for a while.
That was long past. It shan't happen again.
So it may be the case, but at the same time he calls them Louisa and the boy.
If you hadn't intervened, they would have killed me. And Louisa and the boy, I tremble at the thought.
So who knows? It's interesting to think about it nevertheless. As far as Witcher lore goes, male sorcerers, like sorceresses, are also most likely sterile. Not always, but usually it comes as a side effect of dealing with magic. Contrary to what some would have you believe.
No idea where you got such a ridiculous notion.
So, I think that's all I had. Tell me what you think of this. Have you completed this quest? Have you noticed that Remi shows up later on? And perhaps do you know anything else about these events that I'm missing? Finally, thank you very much for watching. Special thanks to the people who pointed me in the right direction to finding these things. If I can dig up their names from a year plus ago, I'll be showing them on the screen right now. And of course, to my supporters and YouTube members for helping me make these videos possible. Until the next one, stay tuned and be good.